Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do my NFL predictions. This is the for week 1 of the 2020-2021 season, regular season. I'm gonna be picking them out, and then when this goes public, I'll put everything in the description for you guys to see. But while we're live, I don't want you guys to see what my predictions are, obviously. So, week 1 officially started on Thursday when the Kansas City Chiefs walloped the Houston Texans in Kansas City, defending Super Bowl champions. So, yeah, that happened. I'm not going to predict that, obviously. But that game was quite interesting, very refreshing, very different. It had some fans there. Not that many. Some games are going to be completely empty. Some will be allowed to have like a little bit of fans in there. I don't know how they determine season ticket holders, but nonetheless, some are, some aren't. Just depends on your city. At this point, city/state that you're in. I know the Buffalo Bills home games right now are not going to have any in there, but I don't know if it's going to be applied to any of your cities in there, your local cities and states that have them. So let's get through and run down these predictions here. So we're going to get to the first game here, but I want to address something because obviously one of the teams in this has a bit of a controversy. As we all know, they had their name officially changed a month ago. Actually, I think it's been 2 months now. And they temporarily changed their name to the generic football team term. So I want to address the elephant in the room with this. For the whole season, I am going to be calling them the Washington Red Wolves. We are not calling them the Washington football team because that is a stupid-ass name. And out of all the popular names that are possibilities right now, since they're moving away from Native American/Indian American imagery and themes and all that stuff, we are going with the Red Wolves. So that will be unofficially their name on this channel. Yeah, that will be what I'll be referring to them as on this season until they either A, get an official name, a real name, or B, that the name that I'm calling them actually becomes their official name. So yeah, I want to put that out there for people that are watching this. So with that being said, the first game on NFL.com's listings is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Red Wolves.
Philadelphia Eagles,
Sorry about that. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Red Wolves, and it is in Washington. So, this game, you know, the players they have and the way it's evaluated, the Eagles were the defending division champs of their division. The Washington Red Wolves last year were not very good, and I think it's still going to be a rebuilding phase with them. Obviously, their new head coach unfortunately got cancer, so I don't think he'll be on the sidelines. I don't know what the whole situation with that is. Very unfortunate. Washington Red Wolves has gone through a tough off season with branding changes and their team name being gone, which we talked about on this channel before. I was not a big fan of them doing this because I felt the intent was, you know, Blackfeet Nation and all that stuff. But unfortunately, you know, It just wasn't going to be. Blackfeet Nation making the logo and all that stuff. But, still, unfortunately, it's not to be. I am predicting the Philadelphia Eagles to come out here as the winners of this game. Because, again, the Eagles are the division winners. And the Washington Red Wolves are still in a rebuilding phase. And there's just a lot of drama going in there right now. And I don't want to really talk about that many more of it. So, yeah. So, next we have the Miami Dolphins going up against the New England Patriots, a.k.a. the Tom Brady-less New England Patriots. Even though Tom Brady is not on the Patriots anymore, the Dolphins are a rebuilding team. They have Fitzpatrick as their quarterback. Who's a journeyman's quarterback. He has his, good games, and then he'll just have really bad games. And it's in New England. Cam Newton's out to kind of show what he can do. And I think Cam will have a good game for this game because, Dolphins aren't that really good, and the Patriots still have a pretty good defense. So I'm going with New England to win. This particular game, this doesn't necessarily mean I think the Patriots are going to still be a powerhouse, but against the Dolphins, it's a pretty good matchup for them to win. So next, my football team, go Pack Go, my Green Bay Packers are going up against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Last year on Monday Night Football, we trounced them to win the division officially, and the matchup really, I don't think has changed. Aaron Rodgers still going to do his thing, despite the fact that they draft another quarterback. He's going to do his thing, and he's going to take prisoners. I think he's out for blood after them drafting another quarterback. Kirk Cousins is on and off. And yes, I see we destroying the Minnesota Vikings at home. And I'm not just saying that because obviously it's my football team. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. So, looking at this right here, look at the matchups here. We have a better team overall. And again, it's in a dome, so there's no real issues. So yeah. I say we're going over here. So Packers win this game. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville, again, another team that's rebuilding and not really that good. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to win here. You got Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers wants to prove that he still can play and he can still be a good quarterback in this league, and he still wants to win a Super Bowl, so maybe he'll take a Super Bowl to Indianapolis. So we'll see what happens with the Colts here, but I think the Colts definitely beat Jacksonville. Next, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions at Detroit. Again, these two teams are rebuilding, not very good teams. Trubisky is terrible. And, you have Nick Foles on there. And did they announce who was starting? Because I haven't really paid attention to these two teams. But let's see here if they have an announcement. Because if they got Trubisky starting, they're probably going to suck. Let's see who they decided as their starting quarterback. No, Bears. Let's see. Starting. Oh, no. Dang it. Let's see who we got here. I don't know. I didn't listen to it. Starting QB. If it's Trubisky, I'm going to be like, yo, you guys are stupid. So, it seems that Trubisky will be the starter, which I think is stupid. Again, I'm not complaining about it because the Chicago Bears are my team's rival. And I know the Packers are going to destroy Trubisky because Trubisky's not a good quarterback, just like Jay Cutler. I think he's going to play terrible. I think the Detroit Lions are going to kill him. And I think it was a huge mistake not putting my boy Nick Foles in there, who I actually like Nick Foles, even though now he's on my rival's team. I like Nick Foles. I think he's underrated, and I think he's underappreciated, and he is way better than any of these other guys, like Carson Wentz, and I really feel the Eagles should have kept him over Carson Wentz. But, obviously the team has money invested in Trubisky, and I think that's why they gave him the nod. But don't be surprised if he gets benched, if he starts playing terrible, which I think he will, because I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. Hopefully it's not before the Packers play him, because I know Trubisky's going to play terrible. All right, my app's frozen here. Let me restart it. Who's the next team? Okay, so now we got the the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Teddy Bridgewater making his Panther debut as the starting quarterback. I think the Panthers are going to win. The NFC South, once again, will be an interesting division because you got Brady as the Tampa Bay starter. You got the defending division champs with New Orleans Saints, who still want to try to win a Super Bowl. And then you got, the former starter / former backup to Drew Brees in New Orleans as the Panthers starter in Teddy Bridgewater. And then, of course, you got Matt Ryan, who is a former NFL League MVP. So there's a lot of interesting things that are coming in this division, but for this particular game, I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to show why he is a starting quarterback. Great story by him. This guy almost lost his leg, which is why he lost his, unfortunately, starting job in Minnesota, the Minnesota Vikings. But he came back. He was a backup quarterback for one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Drew Brees. Learned probably a lot from him. Got to start 4 games for him during, the thumb, Drew Brees breaking his thumb. Got to show what he can do, and I think he's ready for this. I think he's going to bring it, and I think he's going to beat the Raiders. The Raiders aren't a good football team, and I think they're going to be terrible this year, even in Las Vegas. So next we have the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. No contest. Baltimore will definitely win. Lamar Jackson is going to continue playing good especially against a team like this. I don't think he's going to have as good season he had last year because I don't think he can really top a regular season like that. But in this particular matchup against the Cleveland Browns are still rebuilding. They're not really a good rounded team. So I don't think they're going to give the Ravens any problems. So I see Lamar just totally walloping him in this game, the reigning league MVP. Ravens win. Next we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Atlanta Falcons. So Matt Ryan is 5-2. Career record against Seattle, including postseason, which very significant. It's at Atlanta. But, unfortunately, I think Russell Wilson is going to win this game for Seattle. They have still a very, very solid team. And I don't know where the Falcons are at because they didn't really have a good record last year. So, we'll see where that goes. Next, we have the the LA Chargers. Still very stupid. Move back to San Diego because no one cheers for you at your home games. Against the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, the first overall draft pick, makes his NFL debut. I think the Bengals will win this game. The Chargers are not a good football team, and they don't have a good fan base. Most of the people that come to see their games are for the visiting team. So they don't have a fan base in LA, and their team's terrible. Even when they were winning a couple years ago with Phillip Rivers, people weren't coming to their games. And I don't know if they are allowed to have anybody in the stadiums, like if they can have like a minor capacity or not. But even if they were able to get that, I don't think people will be cheering for them. In terms of the quality of their football team, they don't seem to have really anything going for them. So I think the Bengals will definitely win. I don't think the Bengals will be a good football team this year, but I think they definitely will beat the Chargers here. Next, we probably got arguably game of the week, which is the new Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and Gronk versus Drew Brees and Sean Payton, New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. So Tampa is actually the underdogs going into this, mainly because of the stackedness of the Saints. And you know what? I agree. The Saints, I think, roundedly are a better football team than the Buccaneers. Yes, they may have Tom Brady, but we don't exactly know where he's at. He has Gronk, so they could definitely surprise. I think this game will be a shootout, though. But I do think the Saints will come out on top. I think the Saints right now, better overall team right now. Even with adding the two players that they have, I don't think that's going to change the fact that the Saints are the better team right now in this division. And I think they will beat them, especially in the Superdome. Again, I don't know if they'll have fans in there, so maybe that might be a factor. You know, usually a lot of these football teams feed off the fan base, you know, with only a minor capacity of fans in some of these stadiums, or none at all, you know, in other stadiums, might change the dynamic of these football games, because they're not going to probably jump off sides or get false starts, because you're not going to have as many, you know, pressure with fans, you know, interfering with the snap count, like with the 12th man and stuff like that in Seattle. When they go to Seattle, you usually have always these fans, you know, feeding off the sound barrier, which forces teams to do a lot of false starts and stuff like that. With the season being the way it is now with the with COVID-19, you're really probably not going to see that many false starts. I don't even think there were that any false starts against the Chiefs and the Texans. I'm not sure, because I wasn't watching play-by-play with the game, but I don't recall them being that many, if any, during the Kansas City and the Houston game. So that's going to be probably a huge issue for a lot of teams this year, because we're probably not going to see that many false starts or offsides with the stat count, because there's not going to be any fans interfering with, you know, those counts. But overall, yes, I think the Saints will definitely beat the Buccaneers here. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals against the San Francisco 49ers. Hopkins makes his debut with the Arizona Cardinals. But again, he's going up against the number one pass defense from a year ago, and the 49ers killed my Packers in the NFC Championship game. I think San Francisco definitely wins here. The 49ers are a much rounded, more better football team right now, so yeah, definitely. Next, we have Dallas Cowboys against the LA Rams. Dallas wins. Mike McCarthy makes his head coaching debut. I think the Cowboys will be a better football team. I don't think they're going to win their division. They might. It's going to be between them and the Eagles, I think. But I don't think they'll be deep in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I do think they win tonight against the Rams in the Rams Stadium. So, yeah. Cowboys win. Mike McCarthy, great head coach. So then we have, and that was also the first, or that was the Sunday Night Football game that's happening tonight, by the way, I should mention. Next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Giants. This is the first of two Monday Night Football games that they have for Week 1. The Steelers have won 9 consecutive Monday night games, but I don't really think that matters, because the Giants aren't that good of a football team right now. They're still a rebuilding team. So I say the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely win easily here. And look out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to be a surprise team of this season. Roethlisberger got injured in Week 1 and really didn't get to do much last year. I think he's going to compete with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think it's a sure-gone thing that the Ravens are going to win the AFC North this year. I think the Steelers are going to really go after him this year. And I think Ben is out for blood. I think he wants some revenge for missing the whole season last year. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers win here and start really going after the Baltimore Ravens. You got to think about it right here. In one of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Raven matchups, they took the game to overtime, and that was with a backup quarterback that was terrible. And the Ravens only won because the dude, I think, fumbled the football, if I'm not mistaken. So the Steelers now with a starting franchise quarterback in Big Ben coming back, I think will definitely help them, kind of tidy up one-on-one with the Baltimore Ravens in the for the fight for the AFC North division. So yeah, Steelers win that game. Next we have the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Denver is still a rebuilding team. The Tennessee Titans were surprisingly in the AFC Championship game last year. I think the Tennessee Titans are trying to get back to where they were. So, definitely Tennessee Titans go over in the second Monday Night Football game at Denver. So, yes, those are all the Sunday/Monday Night Football games that haven't happened yet as of right now of this recording that I am predicting. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this year's NFL season? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like to see my videos, please subscribe. I also do have a Patreon in the description for your support if you want to support that, as well as a Discord. That is about it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of it. Peace. Go Pack, go! Woo!